The Russian armed forces have the means to neutralize Tomahawk missiles that the United States may send to Ukraine, according to an aviation expert. However, the number of American weapons reportedly being used is relatively small, so it's unclear whether they will actually be used or whether this is an attempt to pressure the Kremlin. The Russian Kh-101 cruise missile could be considered as an alternative to the Tomahawk. Aviation expert Konstantin Krivolap explained on the Espresso TV channel. Ukrainian air defense systems have demonstrated the ability to neutralize the Kh-101, meaning that Russian air defense systems are likely to partially counter aerial threats, he explained. Krivolap clarified that the Tomahawk missile variant, capable of flying 2,500 kilometers, was destroyed during the disarmament program in the 1990s. Today, there are missiles that reach 1,600 kilometers and fly at an altitude of 50 meters. The Russian Kh-101 cruise missile has similar characteristics. The Russian missile flies 3 times further and has multiple navigation systems, but Ukrainian air defense systems intercept them with 80 to 90% effectiveness. At the same time, there's a chance that Tomahawk missiles will fly toward Moscow, where the concentration of air defense assets is higher than in the rest of Russian territory, the expert added. Given these considerations, one shouldn't expect the Tomahawk missile to be anything other than a game changer. We need to understand that out of 20 missiles, 4, that's 20%, will reach their target. Significantly more could reach their target. But we need to assume that no more than 80% of the missiles will be shot down, and at least 2 will reach their target. Therefore, 30 missiles, or accordingly 6 more, could reach their target, and that wouldn't make the war any different, he said. According to the expert, Tomahawk missiles might not even be launched, but rather used to manipulate Putin's opinion. US President Donald Trump may hope that, under pressure, the Kremlin will agree to a big deal, some kind of agreement. Among other things, Krivolap analyzed the number of Tomahawk missiles in the US and those distributed to various customers around the world. According to him, over the years of production, a total of approximately 9,000 units have been manufactured, about half of which have been used in various conflicts, and approximately 4,100 are in stock. Meanwhile, Washington's partners have received an order of magnitude more missiles than they are promising Ukraine. For example, Poland received 200 to 300 Tomahawks, Britain 1,000, and some have received as many as 500.
President Donald Trump hosted Argentina's President Javier Milei at the White House Tuesday, days after the U.S. moved ahead with a $20 billion bailout of the country. According to Associated Press speaking to reporters in the cabinet room as he met with Milei, Trump defended the lifeline to prop up the Argentine peso, saying the assistance will help a great philosophy take over a great country. Argentina is one of the most beautiful countries that I've ever seen, Trump said. The president also stressed that it was helping our neighbors. Secretary of State Marco Rubio added that Argentina was foremost among Latin American countries that have aligned with the United States on issue after issue. I think this is important, Trump said. This is our hemisphere.
Go ahead.
How is this Argentina rescue package America first? And is this rescue package meant to help President Milei's party in the coming election?
No, it's really meant to help a good financial philosophy where Argentina can, after 20 years of disaster, because it was very successful at one point, and it can be again, like Venezuela. Venezuela was very, very successful, and now it's a dictatorship. When we can help our neighbors, we're making tremendous progress in South America. South America, Marco was telling me, he's like our great expert here, he really knows it. But, you were telling me that so many of the countries are coming our way. And we had, a few years ago, when I just came back, so I've been here now almost 9 months, but when I just came in, I was amazed to see how poorly we've done. We lost so many, and one of them was Argentina, would be lost if he wasn't there. Could you give a couple of words on South America? You were telling me so well yesterday how well we're doing. Go ahead.
Well, first of all, we have now 8 or 9, 10 countries, Argentina being foremost among them, that have aligned with the United States on issue after issue in international community events all over the world. They're, in fact, these great allies like Argentina, but I can go into others, Costa Rica, I don't want to leave anybody out, El Salvador, but I think one of the more promising developments is later this month there'll be an election in Bolivia after 25, 30 years of anti-American hostile government. Both of the candidates running in that election, in the runoff election, want strong and better relations with the United States and another transformative opportunity there. But so I think this is important. This is our hemisphere. It's where we live. And having strong neighbors such as this.
And great progress has been made, really.
And we'll make more.
Over the last 9 months. Really over the last 9 months. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, from Argentina, Buenos Aires, do you imagine soon a free trade agreement with Argentina? Could it be possible soon?
Yeah, it will be. Well, we're going to discuss some of it today, but no, we want to help Argentina, and we want to always help ourselves, but we want to help Argentina, and one of the ways we can do, they have great product.
Was China trying to draw a wedge between the U.S. and Argentina by buying soybeans from Argentina and not U.S. farmers?
I would say so.
And China on the port fees.
China
They've
likes to
increased
draw
port fees on
wedges.
U.S. ships too.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I guess that's natural. It's China, and it's natural, but it's not gonna mean anything in the end.
Mr. President,
Mr. President, from Argentina, should Argentina end the China swap and close the space base in Neuquén?
I don't think you should be doing business much with. You can do some trade, but you certainly shouldn't be doing beyond that. Certainly shouldn't be doing anything having to do with the military with China. And if that's what's happening, I'd be very upset about that. Yeah.
And what about
Yes, President, for Argentina, what's the benefit for United States in helping this way Argentina?
Just helping a great philosophy take over a great country. Argentina is one of the most beautiful countries that I've ever seen. And we want to see it succeed. Very simple. I mean, we don't have to do it. It's not going to make a big difference for our country, but it will in terms of South America. If Argentina does well, you're going to have others following, and a lot of others are following. You have countries in South America that 2 years ago would have never even been thought of to go as democracies or as just countries that want to do fair and balanced trading. And now you mentioned Bolivia, but there are numerous other countries that are coming our way.
how long will it take Hamas to disarm, and can you guarantee that is going to happen?
Well, they're going to disarm, and because they said they were going to disarm. And if they don't disarm, we will disarm them.
How will you do that?
I don't have to explain that to you. But if they don't disarm, we will disarm them. They know I'm not playing games. Okay? Now, we did something monumental. We got the hostages back. That was the first thing we had to do. Above all else, get the hostages back. Now, they misrepresented because we were told they had 26, 24 of dead hostages, if we can use those terms. And it seems as though they don't have that because we're talking about a much lesser number. But that's a very tough subject. I want them back. That's what they said. I want them back. Also, they said they were going to disarm. And initially speaking, they needed, they did take out a couple of gangs that were very bad, very, very bad gangs, and they did take them out. And they killed a number of gang members. And that didn't bother me much, to be honest with you. That's okay. We had a couple of very bad gangs. It's no different than other countries. Like Venezuela sent their gangs into us, and we took care of those gangs. We have Washington, D.C. is one of the safest cities in the country. It was one of the worst cities in the country if you go back just a little while ago, right? Now it's safe. You can walk to work. Isn't it nice? But we have told them we want to disarm, and they will disarm. And if they don't disarm, we will disarm them. And it'll happen quickly and perhaps violently. But they will disarm. Do you understand me?
Yes, you say
because
quickly.
everyone says, oh, well, they won't disarm. They will disarm.
We're confident that the president's party will and the coalition will do well in the election, and this aid is predicated on robust policies, and going back to the failed Peronist policies would cause a U.S. rethink.
Thank you very much.
If the president doesn't win, I know the person that he'd be running against, I believe, probably. We probably have the person. A person is extremely far left and a philosophy that got Argentina into this problem in the first place. So we would not be generous with Argentina if that happened. If he loses, we are not going to be generous with Argentina. So we're going to work very much with the president. We think he's going to win. He should win. And if he does win, we're going to be very helpful. And if he doesn't win, we're not going to waste our time, because you have somebody whose philosophy has no chance of making Argentina great again.
What's your advice for
I'm with this man because his philosophy is correct. And he may win and he may not win, but I think he's going to win. And if he wins, we're staying with him. And if he doesn't win, we're gone.